Hello and welcome to GC360, where news comes full circle. I'm Danny Tawil.
And I'm Mary Ross Murphy. We have a lot of news on the agenda today. This year's spring play was definitely something to remember. We got behind the scenes of Green Day's American Idiot.
Our sports anchor, Meredith Lawrence, has an update on freshman basketball.
And later, find out what a very honest young woman did with an unexpected amount of cash.
A day after the Capital City nightclub and the Chops bar were raided by the FBI and IRS, there were many more questions than answers. An FBI spokesperson said the FBI, along with our IRS partners, have executed several federal search warrants throughout the state in conjunction with an ongoing federal investigation, the details of which I cannot discuss at this time. FBI officers were seen carrying boxes and laptops out of the buildings. An officer from the Okmulgee Drug Task Force reportedly also was on the scene. The focus of the investigation is unclear, but the activity in downtown Milledgeville was one of a number of such raids across the state. The Colonnade reported that 4 former employees of Capital City said employees were only paid in cash from tips and they never filled out employment documents or received a W-2 form for their employment there. Let's get some further perspective on the story. We have Colonnade reporter Emily McClure in the studio today to discuss how she went about covering the story. Hey, Emily. So when did you first hear about the Capitol story going on?
Well, we got the tip around 9:30 or 10 a.m., and the Colonnade was down there right away.
Okay, and so how did you go about getting that right away? Were you down there personally right away? Or?
Yeah, so I was down there by early afternoon. We tried to talk to some FBI officers, but they were very tight-lipped about what they were doing. But we were able to get the statement from the FBI office in Atlanta.
And so a lot of students around here work there and all that, and I know you were able to interview for former employees. Were they down there, or did you have to reach out to them?
We had to reach out to them.
Okay,
yes.
And they were willing to talk, I guess, just anonymously?
They were, yes. They were willing to confirm the details of the management and that they did not fill out any employment forms or anything like that.
And I hear there's rumors about the bar maybe reopening this weekend. Were there any talk about that? How do you feel about that?
There was a post that went out on social media saying that they were going to be open on Thursday for Mardi Gras, but that's all we saw from Facebook.
And that's it. And where do you think the story is going next? Do you think if they open, will y'all be down there to cover more? Or?
Well, if there is any information that becomes available through the court proceedings, like seeing the actual warrants themselves, then we'll certainly get that information as soon as it becomes public.
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We'll continue following this story online and on TV to bring you the latest developments as we learn them. There are also more questions than answers about a reported sexual assault on campus. On February 25th, between 2:30 and 3 in the morning, authorities say a woman reported being assaulted behind Bell Hall. Authorities identified the suspect as 20-year-old Jarvis Lawrence. He was last seen wearing a Chicago Bulls jacket and a dark baseball cap worn backwards. He was also described having dreadlocks with red tips. The victim, who is not a student at Georgia College, reportedly was held at gunpoint and assaulted. Anyone with information on the crime is encouraged to call GC Public Safety at 478-445-4400.
President Donald Trump's executive order to suspend immigration from 7 majority Muslim countries has been blocked by the courts, but Muslims are still concerned. GC360's Julian Hagins sat down with Georgia College student Serena O'Day, who is a Muslim, to get her thoughts on the ban.
I just felt very isolated, and I just felt like everyone was against me, even though that's probably not the case, but it just kind of made me feel that way.
Serena's a U.S. citizen with no worries about the ban. She's also friends with other international students who are Muslim, but none of them are from the 7 countries listed in the executive order.
You would have some people in class who would voluntarily project their ideas about it, and just hearing their justifications or their support for what's going on, it definitely does make me feel out of place.
While Serena does feel safe at school, she did tell GC360 that she's more self-aware of the dangerous attitudes triggered by the president's views. Nevertheless, Serena is still hopeful.
I feel like it will pass. It's just something, there's just a lot of fear of the unknown that's going on. A lot of people just don't know about us. They don't know why I wear this scarf. They don't know what Muslims stand for.
Serena hopes ill will towards Muslims is merely a passing phase in American history.
From dorms to classroom buildings, Georgia College continues to be a work in progress. GC has finally finished a major project, the Centennial Center Plaza. GC360's Brandon Johnson covered the official reopening.
Dozens of people gathered outside the Centennial Center to celebrate the completion of the Centennial Plaza with a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
This is just an amazing addition to this building.
The plaza outside the building features new tiling and lamps. The administration has plans to make greater use of the space. Athletic Director Wendell Stanton was also on hand.
This is a wonderful and fitting addition to this venue and our whole environment here. So let's give our university a nice round of applause for being here today.
President Dorman was given the honors to cut the ribbon, and after a few unsuccessful attempts, the Centennial Center was officially declared reopened. The event not only signified the completion of the construction project, but the intention to use it as a center for celebration for both new and graduating students.
When they come out of graduation now, we'll have all kinds of tents and visiting and pictures and all that. So it really creates a lot of memories here, and we're really excited about it.
After nearly a 2-year process of planning and construction, the Centennial Center Plaza hosted Tent City as part of Homecoming Weekend and will continue to be utilized in the near future. For GC360, this is Brandon Johnston.
And what's your experience with dating? We'll hear from one young woman who turned the difficult aspects of millennial dating into an art form.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shoebox. Under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple, just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Three Georgia College biology students have discovered previously unknown viruses. GC360's Brandon Johnson spoke with the student researchers to find out more.
3 Georgia College biology students have each discovered a new bacteriophage previously unknown to science. A bacteriophage is a virus that can infect and replicate within certain bacteria. Their discoveries are part of an international research project based at the University of Pittsburgh. Shay Maurice, a junior, named her bacteriophage Adonis, which is Greek for handsome, strong man. The bacteriophage was isolated from various soil samples and may be used to help find a cure for tuberculosis, something Maurice is very excited about.
It's really cool. It's really awesome to find something that's potentially new, and it's really good for developing your interest in scientific research.
Working alongside Maurice is sophomore Kiara Stacks, whose bacteria was also discovered through soil samples. The bacteria, named Shakira, is characterized by its hexagon-shaped head and long tail. Stacks' research is still ongoing.
And so my research is fairly new. So now I'm beginning a whole purification process in order to get the genomic DNA out of the phage. and we're then going to do genome sequencing and kind of determine if this is a unique phage.
Finally, biology graduate student Audrey Waits discovered a new 20-sided phage she named Waits. The phage feasts on bacteria that can cause infections to catheter-equipped patients with weak immune systems.
The bacteria get together and form this very sticky outer shell that makes it very hard to get antibiotics and things like that through. And so I wanted to look at could using a bacteriophage be effective in reducing these biofilms.
High school and college students from around the world will be taking part in the University of Pittsburgh research project, with select discoveries being added to the actinobacteriophage database for the public to see. The goal of the project is to encourage research in students, while also promoting the use of DNA sequencing and the identification of useful viruses. For GC360, this is Brandon Johnston.
Georgia College's Theater and Dance Department just finished their week-long run of this year's spring musical, Green Day's American Idiot. GC360's William Anderson has an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the preparation and political message from the producers, crew, and performers.
The cast of Green Day's American Idiot prepares for their second-to-last show. Casting and rehearsal began in November. The story follows three male millennials and their struggle with drugs, relationships, and war. Joshua Shepard plays Johnny, one of the three male leads. He explains the show's take on war.
We've seen a lot on being anti-war but pro-soldier, so we feature a lot of pro-soldier signs like welcome home, we thank you for your service.
The cast also took part in creating their own signs used in the show.
Each of us were encouraged to create a protest sign that would be used during the show, and we each got to come up with our own cause that we wanted to stand for. And I even got to make one even though I'm not on stage, but Emily actually carries it out during the show. And it says, "I beg to dream and differ."
While the show presented an anti-war theme, the core message was the support of troops and veterans.
This show is really important to my family, particularly because my grandparents both met in the Vietnam War, I believe. They were both medics, and they met each other there. Just like in the story, Tiny and Extraordinary Girl meet each other while kind of on the ground and in combat as well. And so it's been really neat to be able to talk to my grandparents about the story and what the show means to them, and it gives myself another personal connection into it as well.
Reporting for GC360, I'm William Anderson.
An alumna of Georgia College returns to campus with a special message to share: personal life events combined with artistic expression. GC360's Abbie Haynes has more with the story.
Dating can be hard. Millennial dating is even worse. Amy Carpenter is the first one to admit this. Carpenter, an alumna of Georgia College, shares her experience of dating with a room full of eager listeners. Her one-woman show, Not From Concentrate, covers the progression of relationships featuring others and herself. The show's tagline is an organic approach to millennial dating. She uses an orange as an example, which is where the title of Not From Concentrate derives from. Carpenter opens up to her audience by sharing the excitement and the failure of all her past relationships. Assisting Carpenter in her show is Ross Daniel, a GC alumnus. Daniel serves as Carpenter's prop-like actor. He provides the male's perspective in Carpenter's relationships. The dating process for her is a work in progress, but she analyzes why we feel the need to put ourselves through what feels like at times torture. To answer this question, Carpenter turns to studies that explain the desire and the need to be with someone.
I just started to write and just like wonder out loud to myself, and then I was like, wow, this kind of has like a narrative, this kind of has like a story that I feel like could resonate with a bunch of other people, so I decided to put it up as a show.
Not From Concentrate allows for a personal connection. The reliving of Carpenter's past relationships helps her audience relate her experiences to their own life experiences. Reporting from GC360, I'm Abbie Haynes.
Stay tuned for an update on all things basketball. We'll be right back.
Good. Homemade noodles. Oh. Marty, stop it. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. It reminds me, I've been thinking maybe we should try a new form of birth control. I heard about this one. It's called the IUD, intrauterine device. Or we could try the patch on your arm. Actually, I think that one goes on your butt.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
What do you think, then? Arm or the butt?
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 68 children is diagnosed with autism. That's about a 30% increase in 2 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
What if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can. Intervene.
It's on us. All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to GC360. I'm Meredith Lawrence with your sports report. We start off with our men's basketball team and what made them so special this season. The team didn't make it to the playoffs, but that hasn't dampened the enthusiasm. GC360 sports reporter Alex Davies tells us why.
This season is one for the history books as the Bobcat men's basketball team is the youngest in Georgia College history. Mark Gainous is finishing out his 3rd season as head coach, and this team of newbies cannot be more excited for the good things to come.
I'm very pleased with the young guys. I've also been pleased with the older guys, the leadership that Kelvin Wanzi and Mark McCorkle have provided for the young guys. But yeah, it's just a process. The guys are really coming together and playing well at the right time.
Although this team consists of mostly freshmen now, in a few years this will be a well-versed team. Many times we'll see that teams made up almost entirely of freshmen share a bond and build upon their strengths season to season. Also on the same page with Coach Gainous' prediction is sophomore player Chaz Berry.
So Chaz, y'all's team is a relatively new team and you're bringing a lot to the table. What do you think you're going to go in further into the season and all that?
Yeah, we're a young team. We have a lot of new guys, but up to this point I think we're number 1 in our conference so far, and we're pretty much just basing everything off defense. So going forward, we'll probably have to work on a little bit as far as getting everybody involved, but we're a pretty solid defensive team right now.
Reporting for GC360, I'm Alex Davies.
The Georgia College women's basketball team fell short in the Peach Belt playoffs, but the team is still proud of all they've accomplished this season. Alex Davies is back with that story.
The Bobcat women's basketball team finished out their season with a 15-12 record, 8-4 at home. On Saturday, the Lady Bobcats found themselves at Lander competing in the PBC tournament quarterfinal. The Bearcats may have taken the win, but Coach Smith, who has just finished his 7th season here at Georgia College, is as proud of this team as ever.
And I thought this team did a really good job of just coming together. Thought the chemistry, the family atmosphere was really good with this team. They were fun to coach. This is a group that I will remember for a long time.
A player who led this team was junior forward Aaliyah McGriff. McGriff surpassed her teammates in field goal percentage per game and became a team leader over the course of the season.
Goals I had set for this season were 15 rebounds per game, not 15 points per game and 10 rebounds per game. I'm pretty sure I ended with the 15 points, but I think I only had 8 rebounds per game. At a Peach Belt championship, we fell short this year, but I'm hoping next year we get another shot to do that again. Definitely want to win the Peach Belt championship. And I want to go to NCAA. I want to hang some banners, especially my last year.
The Lady Bobcats are proud of what they have accomplished this season, which only increases their excitement for the next one to come. Reporting for GC360, I'm Alex Davies.
That's all we have on sports this week. Let's see what Danny and Mary Ross have for us next.
Stay tuned for a review of Parks and Recreation by our TV reviewer, Madison.
Then we have an uplifting story. See what happened when a GC student lost a very large cash withdrawal.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
Hello, here I am. How am I sounding? Hi. Hey, y'all. My name's Madison. What's up? I love to go to the beach.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hey y'all, I'm Madison Schomburger and I'm here to talk television. This week's topic is Parks and Recreation. As I said last week, it's not a new show, however, it is a funny, witty, and all-around feel-good that you can enjoy with your friends or binge by yourself. The whole series is on Netflix, so you can start watching today. The show follows several different but equally quirky characters. Leslie Knope, Ron Swanson, and Tom Haverford are just a few of the fan favorites. Leslie Knope is a die-hard citizen who loves Pawnee, the town in which the show takes place. Her dream in the first few seasons is to run for city council and help make the city a better and healthier place. Her quirky antics do, however, get in the way. She is played by the famous comedic actress Amy Poehler, who caught her big break on Saturday Night Live and has been in many other movies such as Sisters, Inside Out, and even Mean Girls. Poehler won many awards for the hilarious show, including Critics' Choice Television Award for Best Actress in a Comedy Series. It seems everybody can agree her performance in the show is nothing less than stellar. On to the rest of the characters. Ron Swanson is her boss, and who, for the most part, acts like he doesn't really care about anyone, but he's always there for everyone. And he's super awkward, but he adds so much to the show's overall story. Lastly, I want to talk about the character of Tom Haverford. Tom is a man of fashion and very bad business ideas. For example, he started a company called Rent a Swag, and this is where people can come to rent his obnoxiously retailed price clothes for just a few hours for a more reasonable price than what he originally bought them for. This show also features the ever so popular Treat Yourself Day, in which Tom and another character on the show, Donna, take the day to treat themselves to shopping, food, and spas. Many viewers of the show have since adopted the tradition of a Treat Yourself Day. The show is also very relatable for poor college students. There's a young couple on the show who are just trying to make it and learn how to live. At one point, the couple only owned one Ford. They watched TV as much as possible and they chose to buy toys over things for their home. Maturity is definitely not their strong suit. That's all I have for this week. Join me next week for a review of the popular 90s TV show Friends. Let's head back over to Danny and Mary Ross at the anchor desk for more Georgia College news.
A downtown restaurant is making business with paint brushes and wine glasses. GC360 reporter Natalie Stovall explains the fun yet philanthropic event.
Please don't be scared.
Buffington's is hoping this will become the next craze in Milledgeville, mixing wine with art lessons, all for a tremendous cause, children. The restaurant and bar turned into an art studio on February 10th, and patrons learned how to paint in between sips of wine. Buffington's teamed up with Kelly Brockway, professional artist, and Works of Art to benefit the Georgia Center for Child Advocacy. All the funds go to the nonprofit to help child abuse prevention.
I was approached by Rialto's owner, Rialto's in Vidalia, to head up a paint party, and I started doing it in October of 2016, and I've been doing it ever since.
No talent or experience was needed, but $35 was required. The fee included all supplies. More than 30 people of all ages participated in the event.
It brought a lot of new people out from the community that I've never seen before. Everybody that participated was really talented.
The featured painting for the event was Lover's Lane, a rendition what is known as a secluded area where one can be with their significant other. This was the third time Buffington's hosted a Corks and Canvas. They hope to keep it going. I'm Natalie Stovall, reporting for GC360.
If you think more bad things than good happen in the world, we have a story that may restore your faith in your community. GC360's reporter Mallory Haynes has all the details.
Julian Hagins recalls withdrawing $2,700 from Robbins Federal Bank. He needed the cash to pay the next 6 months of his rent.
Once I got to class, after I withdrew the money, then I realized, oh wait, the envelope is in my pocket. So I began to look, and that's when the bank, they were calling me.
Though Hagins was unaware of it at the time, Abbie Wheeler and her sister had found his money right where he had lost it.
She opened it and said, there's actually money in here. And so I said, okay, well, you know how much money is in there? She just flipped through it and she said, there's more than $2,000 in here. And I said, oh my gosh, we need to do something about this because that's a lot of money.
Wheeler and her sister decided to contact the bank named on the envelope. Bank employees soon discovered the money belonged to Julian and gave Wheeler his contact information.
I just said, hey, Julian, this is Abbie. I think I might have something of yours.
Hagins felt so much gratitude that he offered Wheeler some of the money as a way to say thank you, but she refused.
I'm very thankful and honored to know that we have great students here on campus.
Wheeler stated that she only returned his money because it was the right thing to do.
It wasn't mine, and it's not mine to keep. It's just how my parents raised me. You know, it's not mine, and it should go back to whoever it is.
For GC360, I'm Mallory Haynes.
That's it for news here at GC360. When we're not on air, we keep you up to date on our social media pages and our website, gc360news.com. I'm Danny Tewell.
And I'm Mary Ross Murphy. We'll see you again next week on GC360, where news comes full circle.